Ladies and gents, this is the failure of Rainforest by the channel Internet Historian. This is one of those videos by Internet Historian where he covers failed conventions and events, failed at the ridiculous level. I didn't know that this level of incompetence existed before I started to watch this kind of videos from Internet Historian. It might be naive of me to think, but before these videos I always thought that there must be some kind of organization, some kind of thing that regulated these things. They checked, are they delivering what they are claiming? But apparently not. You can just basically claim things and then just not deliver at all, not even remotely close to that, and just do corruptions, and it's just ridiculous. The story of Rainforest 2015, one of the most degenerate conventions ever held. Drugs, petty vandalism, and diapers. Ugh. There was the failure of DashCon. I remember that. Tumblr's first conventions. That was filled with all corruptions. They asked for money in the middle of conventions to continue the convention. That was just stupid. They didn't even pay the money for the event. Then the meme became that a ball pit, an hour of ball pit. That became a massive meme. They reimbursed them with an hour of ball pit. I'm like, what the hell? What are they, in kindergarten or something? An hour of ball pit. So that was just ridiculous. And then the Jarul one, the fire festival. They promised a lot of things. In that, I don't think it was corruption, but it was mostly mismanagement. They didn't ask for enough money while giving away ticket. Basically sold lots of ticket in discounts, and when the time came, they didn't have enough money. They took out lots of loan, but that didn't work. They asked lots of celebrities to promote the event. They did promote it, but nobody ever went to the event. Basically, it's the company that tried to promote its app for the music industry, but that didn't work. So that was just stupid. The people were arriving at bus, and when they arrived there, they saw that it's not some fancy way of staying somewhere. No, it was just basically tents, like they are at some border or some kind of refugees or something. That was just too stupid. So this is one of those kind of videos. It's going to be awesome. Internet Historian is going to have a field day with this one.
Where are we?
We're at Rainforest.
Where are we?
We're at Rainforest.
Yep.
In September 2015, a group of furries came together with a brilliant idea. Rainfurrest, a convention for and by furries. This is their story.
I'm just bringing in all the dirty laundry here, so you guys are lucky, and I'm probably going to ask you to not post that video, mister.
Rainforest is the reverse of DashCon.
Yeah, if you're going to ask them to not upload, of course they're not going to upload it. So this is what, a convention for mascots or something? Furries, that's why Rainforest, okay.
Where DashCon was a disaster caused by its organizers, Rainforest was a disaster caused by its attendees.
I am absolutely sure there is no truth to the rumor that Rainforest is under an evil curse. And with that, it is my pleasure to officially declare Rainforest 2015 open.
It all started with a talent contest that went okay.
Damn.
But as the night went on, some started to get absolutely trashed.
So obviously, if you're going to have some events like this, party events, of course there's going to be party in it, lots of booze. So obviously all these things are bound to happen. What they should have done is, spend some money on some level of security that handles things, that keeps the stability everywhere.
A few hours later, the destruction had begun. Somebody had deliberately loosened the bolt on one of these toilets, so that when the next person flushed, water flooded everywhere, 2.5 inches deep. An emergency plumber was quickly on the scene, but the damage was already done. Water had leaked through the floor.
The way he said it, the emergency plumber was quickly at the scene. like he's some firefighter or police or something.
And onto the basement servers below. Meanwhile, staff and security are threatening to throw out some of the guests. They had disabled the fire alarm so they could hotbox their room.
Oh my.
Obviously, there are reasons not to do that. Down at the hot tub, someone took all of these towels and threw them into the spa, but not before rolling up towels and stuffing them directly into the pump, causing thousands of dollars in damage. And they stepped it up a notch from DashCon, from going number 1 in the ball pit to going number 2 in the swimming pool.
What the oh man, all the people who attended there was just basically all there was just dicks. There was just bunch of a-holes, just deliberately damaging massive equipments, doing things like that. That's just even bad even compared to the other events like DashCon and Fire Festival.
Back at the bathroom, there were rumors that someone had drilled a glory hole into one of the stalls, although this wasn't confirmed. But what was confirmed was a haul of over 2,000 nitrous oxide canisters, just laying around in rooms and hallways. But that was just the start of the drug problem. First, a couple of guys overindulge in mushrooms and need an ambulance. Then a staff member gets arrested for sexual assault. Then someone else is arrested for regular assault. A few others drank too much and needed a second ambulance. And on the other side of the car park, 2 more people are being arrested, one for drug possession and the other for dealing.
Drugs was the major problem.
Meanwhile, you have these guys roaming the halls. They call it crinkling, after the noise it makes when they walk around. And yes, some of these diapers are full. The other guests weren't too pleased. Later on, they're just throwing food and diapers in the gardens and stairwells. They were behaving like animals?
One thing that's important is we do ask that you guys all be really good back to the hotel.
They're worse than animals. Animals don't have toilets, so they don't have any choice. These people do have toilets, so they are worse than animals. Ugh.
Oh, you know the elevator buttons? You really don't have to use your foot to push them.
A few hours later,
It's weird that they're even talking. By that point, if I'm that person, I'm like, that's it. This convention's over. Get the hell out.
Put your pants on and stop breaking shit!
but that wasn't the end of it.
There was an incident with diapers being found on people's cars.
Ugh.
The hotel was left in ruins.
4 to 6 weeks later.
The Hilton submitted a letter listing all of the reasons
They were doing all these things at Hilton. I'm surprised they even waited this long. I thought that just a little bit of bad thing and they would have just kicked them all out. How did they, endure this much?
Rainforest would not be allowed at their venue from now on. The hotel damage was more than all of the other cons combined that year. But it wasn't just the damages. Rainforest was insured and had over 150 grand in the bank to pay for it all. Rainforest was just so toxic that they said, "No thank you, take your money elsewhere." But that left them with a rather large problem, because big hotel chains talk. Hilton talks to Sheraton, talks to Marriott, talks to Holiday Inn, talks to Hyatt, talks to Best Western, but there's more. Someone was sending detailed letters to nearby venues, warning them why they shouldn't host the next Rainforest. Soon, there isn't one hotel in Seattle that has a convention center willing to host them.
No other hotel this side of the state wanted to take us. From Seattle to Bellingham.
What's interesting is that the organizers knew who was sending the letters.
These are the things that were talked about in that letter, and you're pretty much the only person who could have known that. Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I know who it is. Lean's motive and opportunity around, and it pisses me off.
In case you missed that, what he's saying is, whoever sent the letters was the same person who was putting diapers on these cars. Running low on options, they started to look further outside of the city. They managed to find a venue in Spokane that was willing.
That is another level of dickery, isn't it? You're the one who's the biggest problem, and you're the one who's telling every hotel that this thing has a problem. Don't host it. Who was that person though? That is just bad.
Willing to give them a shot. But by February, none of that mattered. The diaper-wearing saboteur had sent out another letter, and Spokane backed out. So Rainfurrest 2016 was cancelled. And that's the story of Rainfurrest.
How was that?
So far. Unlike DashCon, Rainforest is coming back, and Rainforest 2017 promises to be bigger and better than ever.
RF 2017, they're bringing it back! They're bringing it back! Yes! Oh, so many memories! So many memories!
Oops, never mind. As I was editing this, this happened. So it's cancelled forever. Bye! One last thing. A couple months ago, I made a video called Balloon Boy, The Untold Story. Soon after, Richard Heaney got in touch.
Here it is. Alright?
For a follow-up to this story, check out my second channel, Incognito Mode.
This is just sad, man. This rainforest was the worst of them all, man. It was just bad all around. I mean, how... This just their own people were their own enemies. That's what the problem was. These mascots or who were there, man, that was just so ridiculously bad. That damaged the hotels, did unspeakable things, and the people who did those things are the ones sending the letters to the hotel saying don't host it. I mean, how effed up you have to be to do that? At least you expect some kind of loyalty from your own people at some level. This was just bad all around. I'm like, failure of, Rainforest 2017. Maybe he made a second video after this. I was looking for the video and then like, no, that got cancelled and that's that. But of course that's that. That was just too bad. They should have had some kind of security or something there to regulate things. You have to. You can't have some event or party not have security. This was bound to happen.